AB,
How's it going?
thanks for coming in, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
It's nice of you to fight the traffic and make your way over to
I
Glendale.
know. It was pretty brutal, but it's all right. It was worth it.
I heard you played with Wysocki this afternoon, so
I did.
You're coming off, your pockets are full of cash?
Nope. Actually, Gossage beat both of us today. So
Really?
It was pretty brutal, but.
Is Gossage playing in the Shelley Sharp this
Yep.
weekend?
He just got in this morning, actually. Kale LaVisca can't play anymore.
Oh,
so
okay.
They put Gossage in, yep.
Well, that worked out because I didn't see his name the whole time.
Yeah. He's on it now. He's good.
All right, so the gang's back together. Well, that should be a really good Friday pairing.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's great. Early on, I mean, you're getting as good a competition as you can ask for, right? Early January.
Yep.
So right on, dude. I'm happy to hear that. It's nice having Goose down the valley. Colorado's not far away, really.
But it's a lot colder.
It's a lot colder. Yeah. Your sense of humor, I kind of know you a bit, so I know what's coming. I'm going to try and stick to the script as much as I can, but if you want to go anywhere with this, let's go with it. But I do know that you come from a family of disc golfers. Now, I know your dad's quite active in the local Arizona.
Yep.
Now, was your grandfather also?
Yes. Before he moved up north to Holbrook, we'd play all the time. And like it really just started with me, my dad, and my grandpa, and then eventually it just brought in like all my cousins, my mom, and we would go out like every weekend with a group of like 15 of our family members and just play every weekend.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it was super family oriented when I first started, and that's what like pretty much got me hooked to it.
Was it always there, the competitive aspect of it, or was it just fun to throw discs with the family?
Yeah, it was. All my family was super competitive. They all wanted to beat each other, and then eventually I just kept getting better and better because like I would just go to school, and then I actually lived by Emerald Park growing up, and I would just play there until dark every single day for hours and hours a day.
There's a story that's around Arizona that somewhere in your young life you aced a hole out there, didn't pick up the disc, jumped over the fence, went home because you were late or something to get home. What? Have you ever heard the story?
I have not heard that story, but I do remember I hopped the fence because I lived right along hole 9, and I hopped the fence and I was just testing out this champion crate, and I aced it like the first throw, and I just went and grabbed it and then hopped back over. So that might be what that's from, but I definitely didn't leave the disc.
That sounds like what it's from then.
Yeah.
So you show up, play this hole, throw it for the first time, ace it, and go back out. That's well, there it is. That's what it is.
It was pretty lucky. I couldn't believe it. Apparently I had a witness though, so
yeah. And apparently that witness knows a lot of people.
Yeah, I guess. I've never heard that one, but
was that right? You didn't know it would resurface?
No, I didn't know anyone
for real?
knew about that. Yeah.
Well, I think it's been embellished. I think by the time that grapevine got all the way around till when I heard it, you were on one leg, and I think you had crutches, and it's all that kind of stuff, right? You still managed to throw a forehand in 450 feet uphill.
That's funny. It's just a 250-foot hole at skip ace with a crate.
It's still good though, right? First time you're throwing anything.
Yeah, I was like 13. I was pumped.
Oh, I love it. Youngest player, age 15 to win Worlds AM.
Yes, AM Worlds and USADGC. So like the USDGC for amateurs.
It's crazy. And was it the same year?
Yep. It was like 2 months in between the tournaments.
That's so impressive. And now it's so impressive, but at the same time, with the way our world works, now everyone's looking at you, and you're 15 years old. Still growing, still maturing, still figuring everything out. Did you feel the pressure at 15 that, okay, I just won on the biggest stage for amateurs that there is. There's only one more way to go with this thing, right? Is up. So was it pretty evident then, 16, 17, you were going to probably flip the switch?
Yeah, I turned pro when I was 16 at Maricopa Meadows Open. I actually just got a memory from 8 years ago today. Was when I think I got second place. I lost to Ricky by like 10 strokes or something. But it was my first ever cash. And then after that, I was just like, as soon as I finish high school, I'm just going to go on tour. And then went on tour for a year when I was 19, and then after that I went back to ASU, and then was going to skip the whole year, but then COVID happened. So everything went online, so I could go on tour actually for the 2020. And then...
So you were still doing ASU classes?
Yeah, and
touring.
Tour, yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So you just do them at night then?
Yeah, pretty much. There's a lot more free time than you think on tour. Like from when it's dark out, you can't play disc golf. So like, what else are you gonna do?
well, right. But at the same time, you know, I didn't know if you had to attend classes during a certain time of the day, or if it's just completing your work and that's what matters.
It was weird. It was just completely online. Like you, like they had like the whole Zoom boom where every class was like on Zoom or whatever. But you could just like pull up the app and then you didn't even have to pay attention or be on it at all. Like you would just. It was like, I don't know. It wasn't very strict.
School come easy for you?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like if I focus and like try my hardest, it would be super easy. But like sometimes I was just like, I'd rather just win a tournament, try to win a tournament.
Right. Right. Especially if you're in the hunt.
Mm-hmm.
That's easy to get sidetracked in my opinion, because that's what you want to do at the end of the day. So what was your major?
It was finance.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's excellent. That's going to come in handy.
Yeah.
You're moving merchandise, dude.
I've been trying.
Yeah.
I owe it to Discraft Marketing, though, and they make some cool stuff.
Well, let's segue into that, because I think it's pretty obvious when you had a great relationship. Innova was there from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw you, you were throwing it, and now Discraft comes along, and all of a sudden this gear changes.
Yes.
Not just you personally and how you're playing, but all your swagger is coming from Arizona. It was like, hey, he's representing us.
Yep.
This is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And no one else has even thought to do something like that, where they're representing their home state.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously you're wearing one of the shirts.
Yep.
I went online, was going to gift it to someone, couldn't get them.
Yeah.
And that was like literally after the first time I saw you wear it. I'm like, I've got to get that for my cousin. That's have to. Not in inventory. So you're selling products. So tell me how that works. You go to Discraft and say, I've got some ideas, and this is what I want. Or they say, hey, this is the swath of things that we can do for you. Tell us where you want to go. Is it a combination?
Yeah, it's pretty much a combination of like, if I want to say like I want to run another jersey, or I want to run like a hat, or like a new like casual wear or something, they'll like, I'll tell them what I want. Like if I want like a rattlesnake on it or something, for example, they'll like send me like 7 different mocks of like a rattlesnake like design and like just different stuff, and I just like pretty much pick and choose and pick them apart, and just like in the end just pick the ones I like the best.
Right.
And so that's how we came up with this one. There's a few other colors in it at first, and then I just wanted it to kind of be more simple. I didn't like how it was like super colorful, and then we came up with this like mostly these 3 color schemes, just like Sedona colors, I guess you'd say.
For sure.
Yeah.
So our sunsets here are the best.
Yep.
And it really does a great job of representing that. But I do like the fact that you minimalized it, because some of them can get a little crazy. If you look at Big Germ, he's hard to see on TV sometimes with the shirts he's wearing. Who's the other guy up in Colorado?
Joel Freeman. Yeah.
I mean, Joel Freeman, man.
I think they're funny. I like it.
Well, yeah,
I
absolutely.
like the fruits and stuff. I think it's hilarious.
It's really good. There's back in the day, that's what golfers used to wear on the golf course. It was always obnoxious, loud. The louder the better. But I prefer this style. This is a cool style. Obviously, a lot of people do too, man, because I see more of your swagger on the kids here in the Valley than I do like Phoenix Coyotes hockey stuff. I'm not kidding. I was at a couple of different sporting events, and I don't know how many AB hats I saw.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 4 or 5, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm just hyper aware now of disc golfers, but it was still impressive because there was 5,000 people at an NHL game, and I saw 5 AB hats there.
Really?
Yeah.
At the Coyote Stadium?
At the Coyotes, yeah, at the Mullet Arena.
That could have been some of my buddies. I've gifted a few hats to some of the people who were in like my fraternity, and then like just roommates and friends from high school and stuff like that.
Yeah. So well, you're being modest.
It might be get out there.
You're being modest.
But it is a dream come true. I just saw like I saw 2 jerseys today out there at Vista just playing a practice round, and then took a couple of pictures. It's like, it's an unreal feeling, and I love it.
Well, we were walking together at the Fall Classic, and there was a young man between 9 and 10 that ran up to you.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
I do.
And he was just as sweet as could be, and just wanted to thank you for being you.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was right after my dead center spit out. You remember that? From
like
12 feet, I buried the first 8 holes in a row, and then dead center spit out on that one.
Well, and you had one on the hole before too. I have the video that maybe I'll slam it in right here. But it was a downhill putt on 8. You put it perfect center, and it wasn't even that hard. And it hit it, popped straight back. None of us could believe it. Was
that the first or second round?
It was the final round.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Did that kid run up to me the final round or the first round? I can't remember.
I think it was first round.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
because I followed you both days, but yeah.
Hole eight was the second spit out. Yeah,
that was nasty. That was really, really nasty because you were kind of getting it back.
I was making a charge.
Yeah, you were. It's funny you remember that. Well, but that's what does that mean to you when you have a young person like that who's obviously summoned every bit of courage he has to talk to his local hero, you know?
I mean, it reminds me a lot of myself, like when I was 11, 12, 13 years old, like trying to muster up the courage to go talk to like Paul Macbeth or Will Schuster, Ricky too, like growing up just idolizing these people. And like disc golf is so cool because like you can just go to a tournament and meet them and take a picture with them and get signatures and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it just means a lot to me when little kids come up to me and treat me the same way I used to treat the people I idolized.
Yeah, you're paying it back. We talked with Ricky last week, and he was saying the same thing. It means a lot to him when he can get that opportunity because he was that person too. You know, if he's couch surfing, all these stories he told us.
Yeah.
And now he's paying it back to all those people, and he still has friendships from 10 years on the road with these families that took him in.
Yeah.
I thought that was really touching. So it's good to see, and you were really patient with him too. That was nice. I don't think everyone, like the cameras catch what you're doing, they don't catch what's happening in between. And there's a lot of generosity that's going on, to your point, with your time. So that was really nice, man. On track. Having deep roots in Arizona, what do you see as the future of disc golf for the Valley and the state? And what role do you see yourself playing in that?
I would just like, I feel like the only way the game will grow here is if we get more courses in. Like, we need more courses. Because, like, the closest course to me in North Scottsdale is Vista. It's, like, 25, almost 30 minutes away.
Right.
So it's just, I feel like eventually if I hopefully get a big contract one day, I'd like to get a piece of property and build a course, like, around here somewhere. Maybe, like, go in with Ricky or something and, like, split something and just get something going. Because we just need more courses around here that are like prestigious level, I'd say. Like Vista's our hardest course in the Valley, and like there's not really another challenge like in the Valley besides Vista.
Not to that potential length.
Well, yeah, for like the XL layout that we have, yeah.
Right. What does that come out to anyway? Is that over 9,000?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's got to be. But then you're adding the water, and we usually have some wind here, so there's some dynamic to it.
Redline has a lot of potential too.
It does.
I wish they would put Teapads there. Then I'd go out there a lot more.
Well, so happens that a year ago I sat down in front of the city council over there, and it was actually Park and Rec's department. They brought in 8 people into this room, and all we wanted to do is get Teapads, and I felt like I was talking to the Pope. But they approved it.
Really?
Yeah, so we got that part of it done. We just need to get the community to come together and get these pads out there.
Okay.
But to your point, I think Ulibarri put that together about 5 years ago, somewhere in that range. I think that's his design.
Yeah, Redline.
Redline, yeah. And not Pete, but his brother.
Yeah.
Paul's. So that we know is about 9,500 feet. Now you guys are... Without trees, 9,500 feet, you're going to carve that up pretty good.
Yeah.
You really will.
I like the OBs, though, there.
Right.
I think you can make it really difficult.
And I think you can even change some things up where, you could do just that. You can make it more difficult. So, yeah, fingers crossed that gets done.
Yeah,
and
I'd love to help with that and be a part of that too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we can do some awareness fundraiser or some sort of thing locally, and I appreciate that.
For sure.
When are you heading out on tour?
Leaving for the All-Star event in, I think,
Another 3 weeks.
it's like 2 days after Waste Management Open.
Right. So that's the 10th, 11th weekend. So
yeah,
12th,
so like
13th.
the 13th, I'm flying out there.
Yeah. Are you going to go to the Waste Management?
Yes, I'll be there on Saturday.
To me, that's exactly where I want to see disc golf go. Hole 16. Can you imagine that on the disc golf tour, that there's a hole 16 somewhere out there?
There kind of is at Maple Hill, honestly. It's like,
yeah,
it's like a huge party there, and I think it's awesome. It's so fun.
Is that number 8?
Yes.
They call them the 8 holes or something like that?
Exactly. I missed the island all 4 rounds that day. Or that tournament.
This last one?
At Maple Hill.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't make the island one time, but I made the drop zone about 3 out of 4 times.
What is that? That's a mid-range for you.
I know. I slid over the fence twice, and then I hit a tree coming in perfect.
Oh, because you're hyzering it in, yeah.
Just threw one low, but it's
That's
whatever. It's still fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost better to miss it and make the drop zone putt because they go insane.
Right.
It's so funny.
Right, because you're dropping back behind everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you got to sort of shoot
you're like
through.
putting over people. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, that would be, for me, if we could somehow figure out where, I don't know what time of year it gets here. Obviously, it has to be either at the beginning of the year or towards the end of the year. But with the tour schedule, it seems like it's so East Coast heavy.
Yeah, I know.
By the end of the year, you're never going to get back this way when it starts to cool down again.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning of the year, it would really make sense to get Phoenix back on the tour schedule somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Find a place. I know Ricky's looking at it. I love hearing, that you're looking at that. I think wanting to develop a pay-to-play type of place, is that what you're thinking?
Maybe.
That's the future.
Mm-hmm.
It just is.
So too.
I played a lot of golf, Anthony, and country clubs. Once you, it's like flying in first class. Once you sort of step into that world a little bit, you're kind of, okay, now I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to work a little harder. I'm going to spend my money this way because I love playing golf in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
Every lie's nice. The greens are always good. Tee boxes are always kept. Courses are challenging. And I see that as the future of disc golf. And with you guys and your names now being so marketable, it's really going to help investors look at it as, hey, this, it's disc golf, but you know what? These guys are big names. You've got 15, 20 solid years of winning in front of you.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
At least till I'm 40, I'd like to be in good enough shape to still compete. So
yeah. Well, it's interesting. We're starting to see injuries.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's from not paying attention to, like, baseball players. They only throw so many pitches a week, and there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And you guys are throwing, in some cases, 75 mile an hour, 80 mile an hour fastballs with these forehands. And there probably should be some sort of ticker on there that you're throwing only so many in practice at any given time to keep everything healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
Is that on the? Are you thinking about things like that?
I have, like, recently this year. I started playing pickleball like a year ago, and then I was like just slamming the ball and like playing. We played like every day for like 4 months straight, and then my elbow started to hurt when I was throwing sidearms, and I was like, this has got to be like
pickleball. Yeah,
literally.
Right, overuse. So
I started wearing an arm sleeve, and then toned down the sidearms a little bit, and then stopped playing pickleball, and it healed up pretty nicely, and now I can just full power sidearm again.
Okay.
But I can only play pickleball like once every month or so.
Yeah, and I know Drew Gibson got hurt, and it seemed like it was an elbow thing.
Yeah.
But he plays a lot of golf, right?
Yeah.
And I just played in a golf tournament this past weekend, and I haven't played in a while. But it was a scramble, so I was expected to hit some bombs.
Oh, yeah?
And my elbow the next morning was just throbbing. Because that follow-through, you don't realize how much extension you're really putting on your arm when you're golfing. And not to mention just everything that you're doing, in my opinion, everything you're doing in a golf swing is sort of against the natural movement of your body.
Yeah.
You're torquing at such a degree, and your spine angle has to remain perfectly straight, including your head.
Yeah.
So
anything this way is not very good.
it's just not. Yeah, your body doesn't want it. But anything backhand where you sort of step into it with your follow through, I think you can have a long career. Like James Conrad we could see that dude in his 60s, man.
Maybe. You never know.
He might have the same run up too. Who knows, right?
Yeah, I've never had a problem with my backhand.
Yeah.
Like it's pain from throwing backhand. Just my finger when it splits open.
Yeah.
So that's just from throwing too hard or something.
Is that sometimes the disc flashing, or is it the?
I think it's just like the pressure.
Type of plastics.
The pressure on my you can see it's kind of splitting now. It's just like the pressure from.
Almost looks like a hangnail. I can see it from here.
I know, yeah. The pressure from throwing always splits it like right here. It's like a weird thing. Gannon gets it too. He's like the only other person I've met who gets this split right here.
So it's not like Tiger Woods where you could really sort of put some tape around there, because we used to tape where we get over calloused.
Yeah.
And
but it's not really like a callus.
Because that's a trigger for you, isn't it, when you're holding the disc?
Yeah.
So can you show us what your typical grip would be with like your driver?
It's like I grip every disc the exact same way, like that.
Really?
Yep. Every single disc.
And where is it in the palm? Where is it in your palm?
Like right above, like right below this line right here. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah. They call it your lifeline.
Yeah, sure. But
and you got a long life, man.
A diagonal line like that. I don't know. It's just like whatever feels comfortable.
But that's pretty cool. So you've got some of that in the meat of your hands. If you, hopefully they can pick it up. So you're not necessarily in this little crevice area. No, you're just a smidge down off of that, almost on this little meaty part of the palm. That's where
I put a lot of pressure on the thumb too.
Okay.
Like you can see on like my discs, there's like burn marks almost on it from like it splitting off my thumb like that.
Well, I have to tell you, between you and, well, I mean, you guys are elite players. You're the best in the world. When I look at you this morning, I think they had you 9th in the world right now.
Yeah.
It's insane, dude. That's
Thank
really,
you, appreciate it.
Yeah, it's
9th in the world without a win is pretty good.
Well, we can get at that in a second, but I've been at Vista when maybe 300 feet away from you, and one of your discs was at least 40 feet, 50 feet above me, and the fizz that it was making, it was like first time I'd ever heard it. I'd heard it off the tee before, but I'd never heard it that far off the fairway before. Yeah, like, that thing was still. We were 300 feet from you, and it was still climbing. It looked like, and obviously it was still had some momentum. Like it was still fighting. Like it wasn't
crazy. Yeah.
It hadn't peaked out yet. It was that long hole at Vista that goes back before you go on to those
hole 6, par 4.
Yes. Yeah. You guys were throwing bombs, and I think we stopped playing. We just were sitting there listening to the fizz. But that's a really cool thing. And I said to Ricky, I hope the Disc Golf Pro Tour does something with microphones to catch that, because it's really cool when it leaves your hand. I think people will find that fascinating, how much is happening with that spin and that rotation and just flat out 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, there's a video of a fan. The fan took of me on hole 3 at USDGC, because like you tee off from on top of the hill and you skip a hole, and it's like it takes like 550 of power to like throw it over the LB, and they're like standing right under the tee pad, and you can like hear it rip over. It's like a crazy sound. It sounds really cool.
So the top of your discs are going to have some wear when you're doing that stuff all day long. And I'm not sure, does anyone currently have your arm speed?
Yeah, I'd say David Wiggins Jr., like speed wise, he's definitely like the hardest throwing guy. Yeah,
right. But I could say the same thing about long distance drivers aren't on the PGA Tour though.
Yeah,
Wiggins doesn't tour, does he? He just goes to some events.
I think he's going to tour this year.
Is he really?
I think so.
Well, that'd be good for the sport.
That could be completely wrong, but
okay.
I might have heard that. I don't quite remember.
So
on the tour, I'd say Eagle is up there. I'm like blanking on names right now. I don't know. Kristen Kuoksa throws really hard.
Seems like Goose throws really hard too. No,
it just sounds like it. It's
okay.
It's like funny. We were like talking about speed today, and he was like, "Yeah, he's average on every single throw. He averages from 69 miles an hour to 72." And like if I'm throwing hard, I can get up to like 83, 82 or something like that.
So he's kind of maxing out, because I saw you guys throwing that clown. Something came across my feed, and you guys are in the park doing that, and it looked fun.
On the clown, it was really fun. Yeah.
But he was ripping them like you.
Oh, he was throwing as hard as he could. It was hilarious.
There's someone walking in the background, and things are skipping in front of him, and
he threw one over the thing into the lake. Like it was like 450 away. Like we shouldn't even get close to it. And he just ripped it right in the middle of the pond. It was really funny though. We've been filming a lot of fun videos like that with like legit setups, and like because Ezra has like 2 cameras. He's got 4 drones, and then I have my camera now. And like we're just like trying to put together like good content. Ezra's like killing it with the editing and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, we have a few more cool videos like that coming out.
Yeah. Is that when you look at a team aspect and you're all on Discraft, is that something that really helps? Is that where the team aspect really does come into play? It almost seems like it's as much off season as it is on season, because you guys are making content together. Or is it just because it's Arizona?
I think it's just because of Arizona, honestly. Because I still like hang out with Ricky almost every day of the week playing disc golf, or go over to his place, cold plunge and hot tub.
Right.
I think it's just the Arizona bringing us all together, and then it's just convenient to go like film with other top players. And, like,
That subject, you're influencing a lot of young guys, which we talked about earlier. Do you have any a message for them, or something that if they're 15, they're coming up and they're thinking about taking this game serious? We're seeing bigger checks get cashed. We're seeing bigger contracts get signed. So parents are less, like resistant to the idea of
going on tour for a living.
Right. It's still a lot of the van life. It's still a lot of that, but that's been almost since COVID. It seems like it's almost been glamorized a bit. Yeah. Like and these vans aren't really vans anymore. You seem to multi-purpose, do whatever you need to do, and live comfortably, and try and make
school buses and stuff.
Yeah, crazy kind of cool stuff. So, what would be your advice to some young people that might tune in? And
I would say to stay local as long as possible, and like rack up as many wins as you can, like in a local setting. Because like if you go jump out on tour and you've like never won a tournament before, it's like it's going to be really hard to even have a chance or to even compete or anything like that. Like you have to go up the totem pole. Like nowadays, like back in the day, you could just go hop on tour and like be like decent. But now you really have to start from the bottom and work your way up the totem pole. It's like crazy because like Cupcake, he can't even get a tour card. Like he can't even play on tour, but for like 5 events, and now he has to get, because he got the silver card, now he has to get like lucky with signups and just stuff like that. It's really hard to play on tour nowadays.
Or sponsor exemptions, or
stuff like that.
Do they have Monday qualifying, things like that?
Yes, I think they will every tournament this year.
You still have to get to wherever that tournament
is.
So
you got to travel there, and you don't even know if you're going to get in the tournament or not.
So it only really benefits the locals unless you feel like betting on yourself that way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. Ricky was saying it's $6,000 to get your tour card for the year. And then you've got your entry fees on top of that per tournament.
For majors and stuff.
For just majors? So elites don't...
It's like...
It covers your entry fee for elites?
I paid like somewhere around $6,000 for like entry fee into every single elite series and elite plus. And then that is including like $1,000 fee for the tour card, and then we have to sign up for the majors by ourselves. So like when the signups open and stuff.
You had I was looking at your stats again earlier, and you're just under 150K in earnings. Last year you had 7 top 10s. I mean, dude, you're right. It's right there.
Yeah, I know.
It's right there. And I know the wounds are, we're all, especially us in Arizona, we're screaming at the televisions at the European Open. Is it something you talk about yet, or is it?
I mean, I've been talking about it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, it happened.
It happened.
You can't do anything about it.
Right.
I felt like I dealt with it pretty well the last couple of holes. But yeah, it was just brutal. It didn't even feel like real life, honestly. It was like is like crazy. I don't even know how to describe it.
So the first disc you pulled out, obviously that was the one you wanted. So now every disc working back from there isn't the disc you want.
No.
So it makes the shot that
was
much.
The hardest part, because I only had one Raptor in my bag, and that was like the right distance for a Raptor. And then after that, all I had was overstable drivers, and they just kept going too deep.
Right.
The adrenaline was pumping more and more after every single shot, and then eventually just clubbed down to a zone and just cranked it hard and finally made it.
Well, I thought you took it on the chin as well as anyone I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I thought it was
pretty rough, but
you know, Phil Mickelson never won a major until he was 34 years old. Not a lot of people know that. They just see Phil Mickelson as a super accomplished, but he never won a major until he was 34.
Yeah.
And he's got 6 second place U.S. Opens. He's never won the U.S. Open. And all that does for us fans, Anthony, is it makes us want it for you more.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't imagine anything but amazing stuff when you go back to Finland next year.
I think I'm going to play a lot better next year.
I think you're going to find that you've got a house full of people that you didn't know were there that are just going to come out and support you. Yes. And I appreciate you talking about it. I know it isn't easy. Those wounds hurt. Yeah. For sure. But you're young, and I can tell you that you've got all of us. We all care about what you do here, even though you don't know all of us, but we do care about you. And we just, now we've really got our arms around you. Yeah, we want to see you succeed. So we really want to see you succeed.
And I want to succeed for Arizona. I feel like Arizona sports is tough. It's really tough. With like the DBacks, the Suns, Cardinals. I know how I feel when they lose, and I don't know. Hopefully I can bring a win to Arizona this season.
I love it. I know you will.
Thank you.
I know you will. So you're in a contract year, and as someone who has followed sports and been in sports my whole life, that's when the good players pop off. That contract year, you see hockey players that get normally 15 goals a year, they get 30 goals that year, and then they sign the deal. They get the extension, they whatever. Football players, you see the same thing. Baseball players, you see the same thing. They pop off in those contract years. There's like, you have to. It gets your focus dialed in even a little bit more, doesn't it? Yep. So you're in a contract year. As much as I was happy for you to find another manufacturer, and obviously with the marketing, they've done a great job with you, really great job with you. But I thought it was a mistake to do 2 years with you. I do, because your upside's limitless. You're the guy. You're even the guy that the veterans all say you're the guy to watch, right? And you're the guy, and you don't let it go to your head. We just talked about the experience you had in Finland, and you walked through that gracefully with a lot of character, and now all you did was make more fans. So we're all rooting for you. And I think they made a mistake, because you're going to be hard to sign, in my opinion. I think a lot of suitors will come. You're going to get some wins this year, and I think those suitors are going to line up, and it's going to be a fun day for you. So we have these conversations on this show quite a bit where I don't want to be the one to talk. I want you to talk here. But I do want to make the point that I've never understood 1-year contracts and what the manufacturer even gets out of it. If it's just, we've got so much in marketing dollars that we're going to spend, so we'll put X amount of players out there. It feels like that to me, because you're not going to get a disc done in a year and there's going to be a return on that investment. It just isn't going to happen. In business, it doesn't work that way. 2-year, 3-year, 4-year starts to make more sense. Not even 2, but even 3 and 4 makes more sense. Are there thoughts about it for you on what you see yourself achieving this year? Maybe that hasn't crept in your mind before, that you're letting yourself think about now? Yeah, it's just, I was thinking, like, if I get like a couple wins this year and like play really well, get like top 5 in points or something, I'd like to sign like a 4 or 5 year deal next. Yeah. And just like, because at that point I feel like I'll be even more comfortable if I have a couple wins under my belt to just, I don't know, see how high the ceiling can get. I agree with you. I know you've probably got some great support around you that's going to help with that decision making when the time comes. But I think your head's in the right place. I think 3, 4, 5 years makes a lot of sense.
I think so, yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And you're young, and now's the time.
It is.
Now's the time. See, I'm a little surprised at Gannon doing 3. I'm a little surprised that he'd take it. I'm a little surprised that they'd offer it.
Because, is it 3 or 5?
3.
Really?
Now, yeah.
And Eagles was 5, and then Gannon was 3. That was it.
Yeah. And no one at Discmania right now goes past 2026. And they're owned by House of Disc. You're a finance guy. Yep. I've lived in that business world for 30 years now. Yep. And I've been with venture capitalists, and I know private equity and how it works. And to not see a contract on their books past 2026 is really interesting.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's weird. And why would House of Disc? They just gave Matteo.
Oh, Matteo, yeah.
Matteo. Sorry, Matteo, man. I'm a huge fan of Matteo's too. But they just gave him 4. So this is all under that House of Disc umbrella, Discmania, although they seem to be running it outside of the trilogy. And they gave him Gannon, who you and Gannon, Klein, and there's maybe Cole Radolin are elite. You're the next wave of elite that Ricky was talking about on the last episode.
And Eagle. Eagle's still young. Like he's only 20. He's only a year and a half or almost 2 years older than me. So
yeah, Eagle, of course. But Eagle's taken care of now.
Yeah, I know.
He's
5 years.
He's out there. So you guys coming up, but you're right, as a player. So that really surprised me that they did that. And unless the plan is to build the company up, because typically what happens in venture capital is those companies get built up and sold for a lot of money. And now you're going to have these players come in. Why isn't there a contract past 2026? And if it's you, if it's Gannon, if it's Cole, I would never offer 3 years. I would offer 5, minimum 5. I would be thinking 6, 7. I'd lock you up.
Yeah.
That's how I would run the business. So something's happening there, and I don't know what it is, but there's something there that's interesting.
And it's been like hard to negotiate contracts ever since the decline after COVID has had a huge effect on stuff like that. So that probably has something to do with it, I would assume.
Yeah, it does. It does. The growth markers aren't as vertical as they were during COVID, for sure, and all the memberships, and it was really good. But I think the sport awoke a lot of people that have influence on things across the country and see the potential where this can go. And I mean, Nico's got 130 acres down in Houston, so what's next? Simon's got something up his sleeve. They're not talking about it. You're thinking about it. Ricky's thinking about it. So I think the future is bright as far as the growth of the sport is concerned.
Yeah. And Macbeth just got a huge property.
Yes, Olympus.
There's a pro tour there now.
Right?
Yep.
Are you going to play Throw Down the Mountain?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I like your odds there a lot.
I've never played there before. I'm excited though.
Yeah, it looks fun.
It does look really fun. I remember watching it every season and being like, I need to go there next year.
Yeah, because there's a fair amount of forehands and backhands. It's like a good balance. It isn't one or the other. Technical shots and long shots. Yeah, right up your alley.
Yep, exactly.
I'm looking forward to that. So do you want to share with your fans where you're going to play this year, 2024?
Yes, I'm going to be playing all 4 majors, and then I'm going to play every single Elite Series this season and Elite Plus. So
you're going to go to Europe?
Yeah, I'll be back in Europe. I'm not going to play all 6 of the Euro Tours because they align with like Des Moines Challenge or Preserve and stuff like that. But I am going to play the, I think it's the Crocol Open.
Yeah.
I'm not. That's the one in Oslo, Norway, right? I think. I can't remember. I'll have to check it.
Yeah,
no, the PCS isn't happening anymore. Well,
that's the one I was thinking of in Norway. This one you're talking about, is that the one on an island? You have to take like a...
No, that was PCS. I actually played that one last year.
Oh, okay.
It was like one of the most fun tournaments I ever played. I was pretty bummed to see that it wasn't on the schedule this year. But I'm going to be playing a pro tour in Oslo, Norway, and then playing European Open So I'll be over there for like 2.5 weeks or something.
So what does Discraft do to promote you being there? Because that's a big thing to a lot of young players and players in general. You're someone people come out to see.
Yeah.
So they want to buy your shirt. They want to buy your hat.
I know, it was crazy. Like the kids in Europe were asking me if I had any jerseys to sell like every day. Like I don't even know, like 50 kids a day would come up and ask me if they could buy a jersey or a hat or something. And it's just like, Discraft is trying to get over there more, but it's just
even with Paul being there for whatever 6 weeks it was last year.
Yeah.
That only makes sense to me that they would load up a boat of stuff.
I know.
And bring it over for you to sell.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bring a couple of jerseys and stuff and hats to just like give away to people, because like that's the most fun thing to do in Europe is like throw stuff. It's crazy. You really feel like a celebrity and a pro athlete there, because like the kids after the rounds are like trying to grab the hat off my head. They're like, "Hey B, give me your patch, give me your discs, give me your bag," and stuff like that. It's like crazy. Like hundreds of kids just waiting for you to finish your round and like go to the score tent, just like reaching in, trying to grab you and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah,
there is. We've talked about it before, where America, it's a little bit of it's more of a hippie vibe when you're golfing, and the guys are in the trees, getting high and drinking beer, and it's this casual thing. But over there, it's looked upon as a professional sport, like tennis and golf and disc golf. Yeah, it's really respected. You're elite athletes, and you are, though, because I don't I don't know that people really realize how athletic you have to be at your level to play this sport.
Yeah, because
it looks so automatic for when you're throwing a disc. It really looks easy, but I know it's not. And I've said this to Ricky, and Ricky and I were at the World Series together, and I grabbed him right after the Tour Championship, and I went all the way around him. Like there was nothing left of Ricky after the Tour Championship. I was like, "Come on, dude, we're gonna go eat some burgers right now. We're gonna load up on something."
Yeah,
because there's nothing left of you. And he just said his mental tank and his physical tank is gone by the end of the year. Yeah. Do you feel the same way?
Yeah,
even at your young age.
It's grueling on tour, and it's like, I don't know, if you're not playing good, it's just a mental battle with yourself and just like, what am I doing out here? And like some people, I don't know. It's just like, it's hard to stay in, week out, travel and do the same thing over and over again, prep, and then have 4 mentally taxing days every single weekend. It's like, it's hard.
Right. Really hard.
But yeah, by the end, like you're always ready to come home and just be like, oh, the off season, recharge. And then once you recharge, it's like, I just want to compete right now. Like I have that itch. Yeah, I've been preparing so much these past couple of months, in the gym a lot, and then like doing a lot more mental training than like anything that I have before.
Can you give us an example?
Just like trying to cold plunge like 5 times a week has been like huge for me. I just feel calmer, sleep better. It's crazy all the benefits with that.
Yeah.
And then just like sitting in a steam room for like 15 minutes, just like kind of like meditating, just like thinking. And just like trying to mentally cleanse myself before like going to the tour.
That's great.
It's been helpful and like made me more excited almost.
Yeah. Well, I understand that. Filling up the well, because you're right. It's gonna week in and week out. You're gonna get drained out.
Yeah.
So it's really important in this off season. What you're saying, and you're doing it more consciously now, is you're paying attention to making sure you're not. Well, you're getting older too, and you don't have to go to every party.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point, you realize that that party's the same as the other party, and the same people, and I'd rather take care of myself tonight. And it's funny how that happens when you kind of mature up a little bit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And it happens fast. And then next thing you know, you're 30, dude, and then I don't even want to tell you what happens then. It ain't good. But it's. I'll leave it there.
UV glow.
Is that?
Yeah, I just came out with a UV glow Raptor with like a lizard on it, because like I've always grown up loving reptiles and stuff.
Yeah.
So they wanted to put like a Velociraptor, and I was like, people have done that so many times. I want to put a lizard on it. Like lizard can be considered a raptor.
Sure, it's a lizard. It's a big lizard.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's amazing.
So yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool stamp. I had one in the car. I was going to put it up there, but I actually lost it today. I threw it on a roof at Vista.
No.
Yep.
No.
Greg blocked it on.
You know how many people might be running on roofs down
it's
in
right. It's right there. Go check it out. Hole 4, right on the roof.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no! So when is that available for?
It actually came out on Monday.
On Monday? Oh, this
so
week.
You can go get that at teamdiscraft.com.
Cool.
And then we're gonna be restocking these jerseys, and then I'm gonna have another colorway of this one coming out, and then I'm gonna have a new model jersey coming out as well.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that.
I'm excited for them.
Yeah. Well, the fact that you went pinstripes was pretty cool too.
Yes, that was my favorite one so far.
That was badass.
I loved it.
Were you trying to wear that on Sundays? Because there were certain days where I noticed that you're wearing that jersey. It's like a Tiger Woods wore the red on Sundays.
I have been wearing that one on Sunday actually. I think I did that every weekend since I got it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the Sunday.
That's the closer.
Jersey. Maybe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The Dimebacks almost did it, man.
I know.
I went
to the game 5, the last game. But it was cool to see like a world champion get crowned. But
yeah, that's a rare event.
The D-backs.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
because no one really saw it coming, which made it even better. I mean, they were playing not at the beginning of the year. You didn't see it, right? And it just sort of it organically happened. Pitching.
Yeah. The pitching was really good. Yeah, with Zach Gallen and Joe Mantiply, and then Brandon Fatt.
Yeah,
that was awesome to watch.
Yeah, have you ever thrown a ball out? Do those guys know who you are yet?
No.
Yeah?
That's like a dream. I need to win a tournament so I can throw a pitch out of the DBack game. I think that's one of my dreams because I saw Ricky do it. What game he do it at?
I think it was in St. Louis.
Yeah, and then Macbeth did it. Yeah, I really want to do that one day. I got to get in touch with someone who knows about that stuff. But
well, we can make that happen. I always thought it would be a good PR for disc golf if they're
sure. What if I could like throw a disc out of the stadium or something?
People would lose their minds to know that you're that accurate and it could go that far.
Especially out of the 2 windows out there, I think I'd throw one out the rafters from home.
How cool would that be? From home
so
plate?
Cool. Yep. I think it's like $450 to those, and they're probably like
3 stories up.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Oh, we've got to make this happen. Arizona. There's got to be someone who knows someone, right? That would be so cool.
Yeah.
Well, the future's bright, my friend. I think you're going to have all these dreams come true. I really do. I asked Ricky about a couple of things. I'm going to do the same for you because I'm curious to know your thoughts on, we talked about spit outs earlier and baskets. Should the tour bring a dedicated set of baskets to each event?
I would think it'd be nice, but I don't.
Logistics aside of like, Discraft has theirs, Latitude has theirs, Innova has theirs. We all know that. Prodigy, and they're all a little different, but there should be something that they could work out where it's still one basket and it shouldn't reflect on those companies that their basket is inferior.
Yeah, I think there should be one standard basket for Elite Series and Majors, but I don't think that even if you made a perfect basket, someone would still complain about it. So I don't really care what basket I'm putting on. I can understand if it spits out if it was bad, but other than the outliers where there's like actual perfect putts that are just like barely squeaking out or coming straight back. I mean, if you're putting it super hard in the middle, it's going to pop out every once in a while, and it's just like some people will clip one chain on the right side and be like, oh, freaking spit out. Come on, you got to catch that. It's just like whatever to me. I'll play on whatever basket we have to, but yeah.
Because everyone else has to play on them, right?
Yeah.
So there's no advantage or disadvantage to that. So I get it. So what about Teapads? Do you have a favorite type of Teapad?
I do. I like turf Teapads. Turf Teapads I found have been like the best with like rain conditions. They handle it the best. I do like concrete Teapads if it's dry outside, but if it's wet, I would prefer turf.
Yeah, even as much as I love Fountain Hills, the round Teapad.
I do like the shape of that. I wish every Teapad was that shape.
I do too.
That, yeah.
But we both agree that when it rains, you can't
They're
even
horrible.
be on those things.
Yeah.
It's just an ice rink.
Yeah, and they're under those olive trees when they
Right.
get all of the Teapads. It's a complete ice rink. It's crazy.
It's stupid. Number two, to me, is I've skated on rinks not as slippery as that.
Really bad.
It's really bad, isn't it?
It's like really, really bad.
Yeah, I've got a few favorite discs in that part of the lake because of that.
Too?
Because of that tee.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any. I just want to go out there and blow it up, to be honest,
I know,
and move it.
They need to move it or something.
Yeah, get away from the tree. Would it help the game? And Ricky mentioned turf. There's levels of turf, though. If the turf's too high, he said it could really affect your run up. He said,
yeah, stepping up on turf is difficult because I have a pretty long run up, but it's just hard to do that. And like, I don't know. It's just some of the terrain we play on, you're not gonna get like perfect Teapads every time. So it's just like adjust your run up to like how it is. It's part of the game, honestly. Is like adjusting your run up and being able to adapt to different Teapads and different baskets. I think it's a part of the game at this point.
That makes a lot of sense to me that you just said that, because I was thinking that, okay, if a hole's designed for you to throw it as far as you can, then the Teapad should accommodate that.
Yeah.
Right? But to your point is, okay, it might be a par 4, and it's more of a finesse par 4.
Yeah.
And it won't have the same
length of Teapad
or dedicated Teapad or whatever. So, and you think that's fine, that is part of the game. It's telling you basically you don't need the run up on this one, you need to finesse this one.
Yeah, I guess you can incorporate that into course design, but
so it isn't a standardized Teapad for everything. It could
could be different.
What the hole is,
yeah.
What the hole requires.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
A lot of the tour events are just like the Teapad will be off the ground on this hole and then it'll be flush on the next hole.
Right.
And it's just, I don't know. Just got to figure it out. Everyone's playing off it.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a different throw.
That's right. That's right. And, well, yeah, it's just like the baskets. There's no advantage or disadvantages. We're all playing from the same tee. We're all putting into the same basket, right? But I do think, as a fan, and I'm watching it, and it frustrated me before, where I don't want to see you guys get hurt.
Yeah.
On a stupid thing like that.
That is true. I think the grip of the Teapad should be constant, if anything. Because I threw out my back at Idlewild this 2022 season, and like I couldn't walk for like a week.
Because of bad Teapad.
It was like super slick on a concrete Teapad. It was like rainy and like kind of muddy. And it was hole 5. It's like a 420-foot sidearm. Like I usually sidearm it there, and then just like felt my legs slip out, and like I felt like a pop in my back. And then I went to pick up my bag, and I was like, I can't even pick up my bag, so I like dragged it and finished the hole. And then I went to throw on the next Teapad. I couldn't even run up. I had to throw like a standstill sidearm, and then after that, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then drug my bag back to my car in the pouring rain.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Sat on the floor for a week.
That's the example I'm talking about. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
It just shouldn't happen. You're elite athletes. You're traveling the world doing this. The least that the tour can do and the host course can do is provide. And look, if it's not safe, don't play.
Yeah.
Period. I mean, it sucks. You know, you want to be able to play in all conditions, but if it's not safe, it's just not worth it. It's your career. It's what you're doing for your livelihood. Yeah. Does the Disc Golf Pro Tour have any sort of insurance policy with you guys? I know you're all independent contractors, right?
I think they do, actually. I've heard of some stuff getting settled over injuries.
Yeah. Have you?
Like that. Yeah, I have.
Okay. Well, it only makes sense that they have some sort of umbrella that protects them for all this sort of stuff, the course too. Well, yeah. Because you got to, look, man, I just think that part of this game has to get solved right away. Yeah. Period. Shoes. I've only seen you wear like these really cool Adidas.
The Ultra Boost, yeah.
Is that what they are? No one else. I haven't seen anyone else sort of follow that lead. They're more towards what Eagle's wearing, and I see even Ricky's wearing those
barefoots, yeah,
those barefoot things.
I have like a really big arch in my foot, so those shoes just like are so uncomfortable to me. I tried them on. I was like, wow, this is awful. Like you can feel. I was like walking around and like the slam of my foot against the concrete was like painful. I was like, what are you guys doing?
Right.
But I've always worn the Ultra Boost, and like I'm pretty light on my feet, so like I don't even like notice the difference honestly between like that or like a lower to the ground shoe. But yeah, they're super comfortable, and then they make waterproof ones, so it's just like I don't.
So you've got a few that you carry around during the tour for those reasons.
I'll wear them. I usually blow out the side of them though. That's like the only problem.
Yeah, you're gonna
blow it out after like 2 months of playing in them. So
that's my next question. You can get 2 months out of them with your
something like that. Yeah.
Violent.
If I'm playing like on concrete,
Yeah. Okay. That's
go through them pretty quick, but I love them.
Well, that seems to me. Do you have a management team that looks out for you for this type of stuff, like endorsement deals?
No, I don't have an agent or anything right now.
Works with you. Dad isn't kind of doing what he can, I'm sure, but
yeah, like locally, yeah, for sure. But
yeah,
it's just like me. I'll send like DMs to people. They usually just send like free stuff. So it's just like
they Google who you are. They see some stuff on YouTube, and next thing you know, you got a box showing up. Of, try this, try that.
Like, yeah, post this on your story and tag us or whatever for free.
To me, it's a no-brainer for a shoe company to get involved with you.
Yeah,
a no-brainer. Every kid in Europe is going to buy that shoe. I'm telling you, they are.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool. I've always had a love for like shoes and sneakers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I have a bunch of pairs of Jordans and stuff.
Yeah.
And then Ultra Boost used to be popping like back in the day. Like they had good resale value, so I'd always get like the coolest ones I could find, and I would play in them actually and just destroy them. I don't know. Pretty dumb, but yeah, I think having a shoe sponsor would be really cool, but
it only makes sense that it's coming.
Yeah, I'd have to.
Those are the things that's going to change the trajectory of this game at the pro level, in my opinion, is that it isn't far off where Subway and these other ones that are involved in athletics, even the sport betting and all that sort of stuff. I mean, why wouldn't they turn an eye towards this? There's how many millions of people that play this game globally, right? And they're very passionate and they're very loyal fans.
I know. It's like everyone I've introduced to disc golf has loved it. It's crazy. I don't know why more people don't try it.
Yeah, well, I think that's going to change. I think COVID woke up a lot of people, and I think it's just going to go from there. I really do. A couple more, we'll get you out of here.
Sure.
All right, man. 2 favorite courses and why?
2 favorite courses.
And why?
Number 2 was Valhalla in Norway.
Cool.
It was just the most unbelievable views I've ever seen in my life. It was like just giant mountains right next to the ocean, and like just like the trip to get there, we took a flight to Norway and then took another flight to Allison, took a 2-hour bus ride, and then an Uber to like the edge of the ocean in the middle of literally nowhere in northern Norway. It was just unbelievable. I've never even seen anything like that or knew anything like that existed. It was gorgeous.
You get out of the Uber and there's baskets.
Yeah, I know. Right next to our hotel. We could like walk to the like pier on our hotel, and there was just a basket there, like right on the edge of the water, and you could putt till 5 in the morning because it doesn't get dark.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, I know. It didn't get dark at all. Just like it got like a little bit of dusk, like from 3 to like 5 a.m.
Messes with your head a bit.
But it was the hardest part to.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to bed before 4 in the morning a single night there. I couldn't sleep with like knowing the sun was out. It was just like so weird.
Yeah.
But luckily I was playing good, so I would go to bed at 4 a.m. and wake up at 1 and then have enough time to get to my 2:45 tee time.
Right on.
So it's just,
yeah. You guys do play late in the afternoon, but in those cases, you're right. Yeah, you got all the light in the world, so it wouldn't matter if you tee off I teed off at St. Andrews at like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
You know, got a round in, went out to dinner, everything else, it was still light out. I was like, this is crazy, right?
That's so cool.
It is.
But the experience with that course is like mostly what makes it one of my favorites. There's not very many long shots there, but still, I just think it's fun, like the environment.
Yeah.
And, like the fans and people around there.
So it's really pretty. And
yeah, it's on the TV actually. Right
you're throwing.
They can't see that, but
we're watching the very thing he's talking about on on the big screen right there. That's pretty cool.
But then
That's pretty wild.
But then my favorite course is Northwoods Black.
Really?
Yeah. It's just like everything you could ever want in a disc golf course.
Yeah.
Power shots through the woods, just beautiful fairways, hardest holes on the planet.
What's your best round there?
I shot on Northwood Black. I shot 600, I think, in Ledgestone like a year ago, last year.
That's insane.
Well, like 2 years ago now. That's 2024, but and then yeah, I think that's my best round there. I just played good there at 2019 Worlds and Ledgestone the next 2 years, but this past year I played awful. It was just, I don't know why, but I still love the course. It's amazing. It's just, it's really hard.
Yeah. And it's one of those where you've got to have, like, mentally you got to be totally fresh going into.
It's a 5-hour round. It's just crazy.
That's another part of it.
All it's the most brutal round of your life.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite disc?
Favorite disc
or discs, plural?
I'd say my favorite putter. I'll just go like putter, mid, fairway, and driver.
Okay.
Favorite putter is I don't know. It's kind of weird. I'd say the Luna, just because like I throw it anywhere inside of like 350. I'll throw a Luna, and it's just very versatile. It just whatever angle you put on it, it's gonna fly like. Favorite mid. Buzz for sure, yeah. I don't even know why I thought about that. Before switching from Innova, I'd never even thrown a disc like the Buzz. It was like this whole new like part of my bag that I didn't even know I needed. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I'd never thrown anything like the Buzz before.
It's like Drew Gibson, he used to throw that thing everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buzz.
Yeah, they're crazy.
The jumping man on it.
Yeah, the Jumpman Buzz.
It's famous.
Mm-hmm. And then fairway drivers, I really like. I'd probably just say like the Raptor is like the most consistent. Like backhand sidearm can do anything with it.
Right.
Especially like my new UV one is like money. I don't know. It's just like just the right stability. You can throw it sidearm, backhand. I'll throw it like anywhere up to like 420, 425. It's just money. It's a very versatile disc. Throw thumbers with it too.
Really?
I like throwing thumbers.
I don't think I've ever seen you throw a thumber.
Really?
Yeah. And all the coverages.
I've thrown it a couple times on coverage, but not too much.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a scary thing if you haven't warmed it up.
Yeah. Right.
And then driver, definitely the Venom. Just super neutral. Flies far. You can throw a sidearm backhand. I like super versatile discs.
Yeah. So they're not just, right. Yeah. So it's got a little bit more character than just the done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. You move it around the bag a little bit.
Yeah.
So how many discs would you carry typically in a tournament out at
like Vista?
Yeah. Well, not Vista, but let's say at Elite, like one of your favorite course.
I usually like cycle this out of my bag, like depending on where I'm playing.
Yeah.
So like I'll carry like probably 20 at max.
And then how many of the same versatile ones you were referring to? Do you have up to 3 of those or 4 of those?
Yeah, I like to keep my molds to a minimum. I only bag like Nuke, Venom, Onyx, Raptor, Athena, and then Zone, Buzz. And then I have a Luna, Focus, and a Zone OS.
Yeah, so like the multiples of those.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it keeps it... Like, it's so important to me, like the mental aspect of this game, right? Mm-hmm. Like you don't want to be fighting yourself on a decision.
I know. If you have like 40 discs in your bag, like, just which one am I going to throw? Like, it's crazy.
So do you find by bringing the bag down like that really helps that part of it?
And I throw like on a ton of different angles. Like I can do the force over shots and like the hyzers, turnovers. Like I think that helps a lot.
What's your favorite shot?
My favorite shot to throw is just to throw it as far as I can.
Yeah.
Get a perfect flex out of it, yeah. That's the most fun throw to throw.
You do it well. You do it well. Even when you're out practicing with Cupcake, man.
Yeah.
and you're taking him down. For a guy his stature, he can really move it.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power. He's got like strong legs, a strong back, and like he's got fast twitch muscles, so you can throw pretty hard if you got all that.
Are you past Albert Tam now?
For what?
Distance.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
Albert.
I think I got him.
I think you do. Was he always, it's a golf. Now, what's the difference between a golf shot and the other? Is that what it's just straight, or does it have the flex in it?
I don't know.
What's a golf, if they consider it a golf shot into the disc, what's that mean?
That's like the fine line you can put between like player to player. Like a golf shot for me is just anything that's not a 360.
Okay.
Because like that's a golf shot I would throw, and then
right.
A 360 I only throw in distance comps.
Right. Okay, got it.
So that's, yeah.
All right, got it. So Albert Tam, there's not many people left in the world. Wiggins, right?
Yep.
I love it, man.
Yeah, he's
24.
He's hard to beat.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. He has been doing it a long time,
yep.
right? That focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
There's guys that hit golf balls that just do that. They look like they eat
literally
half a cow every day. They're just these huge guys.
Huge, yeah.
Right.
Like Bryson Shambo.
He's another one.
He's massive.
What's amazing is he's got a game. He's got the whole game.
Yep.
It's really rare that you can have. Normally they're one dimensional, right? They can throw it at a country mile, but then they can't putt. They can't get up and down to save their lives. In that game, just like this game, it's so important what happens that 250 in, you got to get up and down, right? Yeah. Every time.
It's got to be automatic 250 in.
It has to be.
Yep.
And it seems a lot like golf that these guys that are winning week in, week out are the ones that get the hot putters.
Yep.
It's the same one. When we go to watch them play golf here in a couple weeks.
Yep.
It's what's going to come down to.
Who the best putter is. Who's
the best putter that weekend, right? When you sign the next big contract, this was kind of the fun question. What's the big purchase that is maybe you dream about, you get the contract, you dream about, and then you go do it. What's that thing that you're hoping to achieve this next go around, this next bite of the apple?
If I get like a big signing bonus, like a large sum, I don't know. I'd want to get like a Jaguar F-Type SVR.
Yeah.
It's been like my favorite car since I was like 15 or 16. I've always loved that car.
They're really cool.
Yeah, I love them.
I think who is it? I'm trying to think of the European car, and I'm going to screw this up, but one of the European designers, it's not Aston Martin. Yeah, it is Aston Martin.
Aston Martin?
Aston Martin came over and they designed that.
Yeah.
That F. Because the rear end looks exactly the same.
It's so cool.
I think it's the coolest. Super sexy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I hope you get it, my friend.
I hope I do. I will get one of those one day.
I love it. Thanks for coming in. This means a lot to us, Jay and I,
Thanks
to have
for
you
having
here.
me, man. I appreciate it.
We'll be rooting for you.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, guys.